up chicks. Okay, which bike do you think the chick would?
Oh, you're about to make the argument that the RT is a chick magnet. Hi, ladies.
It's a way better chick bike because
K-bike, heavy, slower into a turn than the RT. RT, I felt like it didn't want to stay in the turn.
There's Bergman, Fellini, and the Jed.
yeah, yeah, he's right there with Polanski.
You're right there.
Oh, hey now.
Okay, all right.
Hey. Quiet on the set.
All right.
Quiet on the set.
Tyrant.
So we are riding through Ojai, California this morning. And wow, this sucks. This is Sunday traffic in Ojai, which is a gorgeous place with not so gorgeous traffic today. Oh, little lane split. Nice work, but not quite nice enough. Hey y'all, it's the Jed. I am in Ojai, California. We're taking a little break, a little midway break from about a 200-mile ride we're on this morning, just in the hills.
Yeah.
I understood. Yes, they begged me to come back into the shop.
That's the channel bike. We got a special edition of Between Two Bikes because today we get to have a look at two of BMW's, I would say, sport touring bikes. One leaning maybe slightly more toward touring and the other maybe leaning slightly more toward sport. And I'll let y'all decide which is which. But of course I'm talking about K1600 GTL, and that's a 2016 model. Not entirely dissimilar from Kenny's Manhattan Gray 2020 R1250RT. So without further ado, welcome to Between Two Bikes.
Yeah, I hopped on this bike for a test ride in Fresno, California. I knew within 25 seconds I was buying this bike. And probably that I was going to own one for as long as they make them. Oh, it's really just the incredible smooth delivery of power. This bike has power all the way through the power band. At 110 you can still roll on, and it's a beast.
It's a beast. It's a K1600, and that six-cylinder 1600 cc.
Yeah, inline six.
And they're at a what looks like a 30-degree
maybe
angle, which keeps it way down low on the bike.
Yep, very low center of gravity.
And you're topping out, you said, at 160 horsepower. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep, about 125, 130 miles an hour.
All right.
I've only done range.
I'll give you a quick look at the cockpit too, which you will recognize if you're familiar with the cockpit of the pre-2021 R1250RT. It's very similar. Kenny's got his BMW Navigator in his dash there, but otherwise it's a really similar cockpit. So it was the power delivery that sold you.
For sure. It's a speed demon. It's smooth. It's like nothing else I've ever ridden before.
So we just came off of 100 miles of about a 200-mile ride we're playing today, through a lot of twisties.
Yep.
How does this bike handle that kind of riding?
It's surprisingly nimble. I mean, I've done track days, been to the California Superbike School. I've actually seen guys take this to Superbike School and kind of hold their own. I mean, she's big, but handles great.
I noticed, by the way, you've got a lot of ornamentation on the front of this bike. I'm seeing big yellow circles.
Yep.
What's that all about?
Clearwater Ericas and Darlas. These are, you know, this is see or get killed, right? So this is, from the moment I put these on, my experience on the road changed fundamentally. People see me. I flip these going through every intersection.
Kenny, you don't have any special yellow lights on your bike. I see like the stalkers.
I have the stock lights with the brights that I run, and then I have they come with it. They're spotlights, and I think they're. I did notice the yellow lights. They look great when I was in front of you for that short period. But yeah, I went with this.
Well, the front ends of these are similar, and by the way, I guess the most important similarity is that telelever front suspension, which you really can't see because of the fairings and the plastic. But your headlight is sort of a crappy halogen, and yours is a xenon, and I think yours moves too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tracks. What's with the crappy halogen?
I
Kenny?
think mine moves too, though. I don't know. I'll have to go back into the manual. Oh, you know, I don't know. But I don't ride at night, and so.
Is he always this disrespectful to his guys?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a feature of the Jed.
So
that's not true.
I
The Jed loves his guests. Talking about the 2021,
Right.
They redesigned a little bit the front. They put LED lights on the front, and I'm just giving you a hard time about the halogens.
It's a big redesign.
And they, well, I wouldn't call it a big redesign. I mean, fundamentally, the bike's the same. It's got a little different arrow on the fairing. It's got the new lights. It's got a radar-enabled cruise control.
I want that.
And it's got, but I guess the nice feature is that TFT display, which
Not for me.
Kenny's a Luddite.
No, but I'll tell you what I would like for them to do, which is, you know, I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. On the mirrors of my Jeep, if somebody pulls up next to me, a little light goes on.
Yeah.
Blind spot detector.
Blind spot detector. I want that on this. Now, yes, I'm always going to do a head check, but why it's smart and why they should do it is if I glance to the mirror and I see the light on, I'm not even going to bother doing the head check because I'm not going.
Right.
And so that said, this bike, which is new, would be gone tomorrow if they came out with that
one feature.
That one feature.
Blind spot detection would cause the Kenny,
as long as I get a stereo with it. It's got to have a.
which is kind of funny because
that's right. They blew it on the stereo on the 21.
Well, they didn't blow it. There are no chips.
Well.
So I don't think BMW has delivered an RT in the U.S. with a stereo yet. What's funny to me is we're talking about two or three of the most technologically sophisticated motorcycles on the road in terms of performance and handling. I mean, the braking on these bikes is incredible. The suspension is phenomenal. The power delivery, whether it be in the form of a Boxer Twin or an inline six, is really incredible. But what you're saying right now is a blind spot detector would cause you to switch or upgrade your bike. And I think that says a lot about at how high a level these bikes perform.
I want to be as safe as I can be in a dangerous hobby. You know?
All right, I want to talk about some more similarities between these two bikes. They both have the single-sided paralever swing arm in the back. This has dual exhaust, so it's a little harder to see. They both have the same BMW luggage. I think the top boxes, neither bike here has their top box on it. These bikes both have the integrated central locking, so one push of a button and all the luggage will lock along with the bike. And then coming back around to the front end, both have opted for aftermarket windshields, both from Aeroflow but slightly different shapes. The wind protection on these bikes is, I would say, similar, although from a hand, like I think on your hands, maybe the RT gives you a little more protection because of the way they've mounted the mirrors on the RT, so that your hand is, you know, somewhat behind the mirror and the fairing, versus on the K, you're a bit more out in the wind, maybe. But you've put some Aeroflow sort of winglets.
Yes.
What was the thought there?
Well, there's this little gap here, and it redirects the air away, so it adds some functionality and aerodynamic to it. So it's pretty much it's a pretty good pocket that I sit in there. You might be right, the RT might be a little bit more aerodynamic, but
I don't know if it's more aerodynamic. I think you may have a little more wind protection on your hands.
Yeah.
Have you ever dropped this bike?
No.
You ever dropped this bike?
No, thank God.
Knock on tree. We'll do that after.
Tipped over once in soft dirt on the side of a road and put the kickstand down. Yeah.
I did that on my K at a gas station. I went to lean the bike over and didn't have the kickstand down. I had the identical luggage protection that you've got on, and literally I was able to lay it down on this.
No damage.
Yeah, no damage at all. And surprisingly, I was able to lift up all 850 pounds of it with my back, you know, in that butt on the seat method.
Adrenaline does wonders.
Yeah, and an embarrassment. Maybe that's all the same. Kenny,
Yes.
how often do you have a passenger on this bike?
Not much, but I had my daughter yesterday. I took her out for a little bit.
How is it?
When you're going, it's wonderful. Stop and go, and like coming off the Harley that I had, I couldn't tell she was even there. I mean, I could
On the Harley?
on the Harley, when she was behind me at a stop or coming to a stop, didn't feel a thing. On this thing, if she even just moves her head, it upsets the balance. I have to pay attention because so it's very sensitive because she's up higher, I believe. But I don't know, she had a pretty big smile on her face yesterday, so.
And for reference, she's an adult.
She's an adult.
Yeah, I mean, shorter wheelbase than the Harley, lighter bike, maybe that accounts for why in slow speed you feel her more. I mean, it's a more nimble bike than the Harley, so it kind of makes sense. Do you guys say pillion or passenger?
Passenger.
Who says pillion? I just said it because people say it, but I never say
I think it's
that.
a Euro thing.
I think it's a Euro thing too.
I don't think farkle is an American term either.
I don't like that word
I
either.
think that's lame.
Yeah. I'm not even though I've got it farkled to the nines, I don't use that word.
Yeah, that's-
I don't think I've ever. I've never heard either one of y'all.
Yeah. Rarely,
Okay, so
rarely, almost never. I have in the past, and it handles great. On the GTL, they sit a little higher, but
hey, watch this, everybody.
yeah, I don't have.
Watch this. Oh, I can't do it. Never mind. Doesn't that come off?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a little slip-on.
Look at that. You can go from white to yellow in 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds, just slide it right on.
I'm gonna steal that.
Yellow, very high vis. So
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick on both these
you
bikes.
just lost-
K bike, heavy, slower into a turn than the RT. RT, the one I rode, and granted, there could have been a lot of variables. I felt like it didn't want to stay in the turn. I felt like, compared to the GS, it wanted to right itself almost gyroscopically too soon. I do feel like the RT dives into the turn faster than the GS does, and I think that has a lot to do with the size of the front wheel on the RT compared to the GS. I'm going to pick on a bit of power delivery on the K bike, and I'm curious if you'll concur or differ on this. I always felt on the K bike like the transmission was difficult to operate smoothly in engine braking or decelerating on a downhill. particularly downhill twisties. I got a lot of, I just had a hard time keeping the bike
The
smooth.
engine braking can be pretty abrupt in seconds.
All right, now is the opportunity for either of you to bash the GS. You have,
Okay.
hold on. Hold on.
Ready?
Kenny, you go second.
Okay.
60 seconds.
No
Why don't
bashing.
you have a GS?
Oh, I'm gonna have a GS. By the end of the year, I'll have a GS.
Okay, that's your take.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right, that's enough, Kenny.
I am a single guy, and I have a.
There's a reason.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, I'm really good at it.
Actually, in fairness to Kenny, he is really good at being single. There are a lot of people who want to be Kenny. Some days I'm one of them.
Okay, well, so if I were to go on a date, and I have this, I can play. You better do some good editing here. Is all I can say. I can put okay.
A pillion.
A pillion. I can put a pillion on the back, and she can listen to music, the music that's built into the bike.
But she'd have to like your music.
Well, she's stuck with my, you know, this is why I don't care about the back seat of my car either.
This is why you're good at being single.
This is part of the deal.
But I would think if
climbing on the bike.
if you were to, we were just at a restaurant and we were, let's say we were both single, we were picking up chicks, okay? Which bike do you think the chick would?
Oh, you're about to make the argument that the RT is a chick magnet. Hi, ladies.
It's a way better chick bike because, but I don't have my trunk on there. If I had my trunk, you've got your trunk on your bike. Take a picture. You've got your trunk there. But what is it more appealing?
In all fairness, I only have that there because I like the way this bike looks with the
I do
bike
too.
luggage.
It looks way better with it on.
But it does a little bit look like you could be transporting a severed head.
Yes.
or a volleyball.
That square box, or a volleyball, Wilson, or maybe an organ for an organ donor.
True.
Could
True.
be happening.
True.
Get dry eyes.
All right, but yeah, okay. So sorry. In fairness, your point is, if you have,
Which bike has a prettier face?
Yeah.
That one or that one? That what is that?
that's
It's a bug.
And what is that? A different kind of bug.
It's an owl.
yours is like an owl,
angry bird.
or a bee, some angry.
Yeah, what is that?
That is some kind of a Tron-like,
Transformer.
Transformer-like creature, I think.
And that, you know, it's funny about the wind protection. If we're bagging on the GS, that is like the version of a thong. That windshield. Where this is
This is like boxer
this is
shorts.
one piece that my, you know.
This is Long John.
Yes, exactly right. And so for the protection, you know, say no to nudity. No. I like, but I do really like your bike, but I don't want it. I like this, and I really enjoyed that. I'm not sure for my eyes, the angle of the motor, and it's a little hidden. That would be something for me that where I like the. I mean, I don't know, the boxer thing is a little easier for my. I mean, that's just a subjective thing. That's not. There's no. I mean, the technology on that bike is, and the smoothness is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. There's nothing wrong with it. I gotta say, and I rode it.
Let's talk about one other feature to compare. MSRP on that bike, as equipped, new today, is probably north of 30 grand.
I think it is. Right at 30, low 30s.
This bike, as equipped, new today, is probably 25.
I think I heard way more.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
closer to 28.
I got a good deal.
Closer to 28.
Is it that high?
I thought 29. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple 3,000 at the most difference.
Not a lot.
The most.
Hey, we're gonna try to get exact numbers for
You do
y'all.
that on your own time, director.
All right.
Director.
All right, is that a fact? I mean, look, you guys are rich. You know, would it be a factor for you in making a decision between these bikes? Whether it's, I mean, it's a lot of money already. You're committed. Like if you buy one of these bikes,
I said this on another video.
Yeah.
That's never anybody's first bike, nor is this.
Right.
I'm going to ask you a personal question. Feel free to not answer. Did you buy this bike cash or did you finance it?
No, financed it.
Did you buy this bike? Go ahead.
And I know a couple of guys that I ride with that have this exact same bike. They keep it for 2 or 3 years, put about 40,000 miles, and roll it over to the next one. So
Kenny?
it's a payment that's going to be in my life for a long time.
What's the question?
Finance or cash?
I financed it.
Did you guys use BMW financing?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Did you use that? There's that Easy Pay. Easy Ride.
Yeah.
Without getting into the details, good?
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I don't want it, but I think it's a good idea.
How long are you going to have this bike, Kenny?
Well, we were talking about, I don't know how long I'm going to continue to ride. I've been riding so long, but I don't know, I'll tell you what, when they come out with that one with the mirrors, to sing hi, because that's a big deal. Although,
but this isn't, you love this bike, but it's not your forever bike.
it is, because I only have one bike at a time these days, and I've had a lot of bikes,
Do you intend to keep this bike?
not past warranty.
Okay, so you're not going to have this bike longer than
I
3
don't
years.
work on them anymore. I used to work on them, and not these, but the Harley, and I just don't like doing it anymore. I don't even like to wash it. I just like to ride it, and it behaves so well. I mean, I clean it so it's safe. Like I don't want to have, compromising the brakes or something. But
So it's a 2020, and
yeah,
you're not going to have it past the end of 23.
correct.
You've had this bike 4 years already.
Yep.
Almost. Have you had it 5 years?
Almost coming up on it.
How long are you going to have it?
No issues with it. I've got it pretty heavily accessorized. I love how it's set up right now. I'll keep it until it becomes a problem. But I'm going to have this bike or a version of this bike for a long time.
You won't go for an RT? Because almost all of those accessories,
Yeah. Can
go right on
and
to
I've
that.
installed them myself, so I can move them to a new bike. But
You must have a lift.
I'm selling it to Jed.
All right, gentlemen,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing your bikes, your stories, your laughs. If you had to say 2 words to our subscribers, and those 2 words were like and subscribe, what would you say to them?
Can you rephrase the question?
Say like and subscribe.
Oh, I thought everybody did subscribe to this. Everybody that's cool does.
We need more. We need more. Tell them, Kenny.
Please, if you like this, come to California, come riding with us, subscribe to the channel, and you'll see the places that we look at. Some of the other videos on Jed's channel, and you'll see why it's cool to hang with us.
Hit the like button. Hit subscribe.
I mean, look, you heard it from I'm not the one. It's them. No, we'd love to have you subscribe. And if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and please join us again. Thanks. Have a great week.